Thank you very much, Dr. Passy, for your kind words. I remember I was ambassador to the Netherlands when Solomon Passy was the Minister of Foreign Affairs. So it was a great privilege to work under his wise guidance. Dear Ambassador Вършбал, уважаеми доктор Паси, уважаеми гости, за мен е удоволствие да се обърна към участниците в тази конференция.
It's a pleasure for me to address all the guests present here, and I'm very pleased to see Alexander Vrshbal. I believe that his great expertise has contributed to this conference and dialogue. We have the chance to discuss all the challenges, not just in the Black Sea region, but on a broader scale. This is a very great time and focal point in the history, not just because we're expecting this summit in Warsaw, but it's about the importance. This is of paramount importance. This defense and the security in the region. We're expecting to find great the good tone in our dialogue with Russia, and as a Black Sea country, without a doubt, Bulgaria plays a great role in this region. I do think that this concept was chosen, this logo was chosen by the organizers of this meeting. Sustainable future in the Black Sea region was chosen not without a reason, but what does this concept mean in terms of security? Maybe, first of all, this would be the good picture that we have about the threats within the region, so that we can address properly and find solutions to all these threats. So we need to basically analyze first the reasons and the threats, so that we can answer the question: to what extent have we really based sustainable future and security? Can we do that without the unity of all the countries within the region? Can we do that? Can we have sustainable future without Russia? Well, the answer is no, we cannot do that, but we have some concerns to discuss now. What are the general threats within the region? Well, in political terms, it's the geopolitical interests, contradictory interests in the Central Asia and Middle East. Well, during the Cold War, these countries were part of the Warsaw Agreement, and there was a balance. On the one hand, Bulgaria and Romania became part of NATO and the European Union. On the other hand, we are trying to enlarge our presence. Countries like Ukraine and Georgia have the desire to be part of the European space and territory within NATO. This is a very delicate geopolitical balance, and in recent years we are challenged by other threats, and foremost the challenge to the security of the international order. The annexing of Crimea was a real threat to the security in the region, but that's only one example of all the threats to the security of the region. Well, on a level of strategic documents, it is obvious in the actions. Well, the central part of and access to the Black Sea, and from there to the Atlantic Ocean. Well, not the least.
Last but not the least, we have this partnership, but in December 2015, Putin established certain documents implying NATO is a threat to security. But NATO never says that Russia is an enemy. So we should turn to our Russian friends and ask them to reconsider this fact. We cannot succeed in our efforts of establishing a sustainable future in the region unless we restore the minimum trust to our counterparts. Only then we can take the long route of partnership, having mutual interests. Without diplomacy, there is no way for it to happen. The latest incidents in the Baltic Sea region are really unacceptable. A French politician of the past, please allow me to quote him, "War is too serious in order to leave it in the hands of generals." Peace as well. So Russia's behavior shows us shows many things. For example, Russia's annexing Crimea is a real act that it shows militarization of Crimea. A significant moment after the beginning of the Ukrainian crisis is the destruction of the modality of the already built securities. For example, Black Sea Fort and other forums were also marginalized and they stopped their activities. Allow me to summarize what I said. It is not NATO that is the reason of this stagnation between the relations with Russia. We do not want to have any confrontation with Russia, but we cannot allow any compromises to the principles of our security. Speaking of real policy, the great challenge today is how to achieve security together with Russia, or how, together with Russia, we can find the common route to stability and strength and peace. Syria, Afghanistan, Idil, in the region, all the frozen conflicts are additional risks in this situation. So we really need to be partners with Russia. Bulgaria insists on NATO having a dialogue with Russia. But at the same time, it is of great importance to learn from the mistakes from the past and restore this dialogue to be efficient and effective. After the crisis with Georgia in 2008, we should take our lesson and learn how to communicate with Russia. There was a summit NATO-Russia 2 days ago, the first one after the beginning of the crisis in Ukraine in 2014. Security challenges are not only those ones that we have just mentioned. There are other threats coming from the north of Africa and the Middle East. In the wider borders of the Black Sea region, even the western countries of the Balkan Peninsula feel and suffer all these migration waves, including terrorists crossing their borders. Radicalization degree is even underestimated because the events in Paris, Brussels require much more events that are out of the pocket of the local and small countries. Challenges for each country are different depending on their nature and geographical position. So we cannot use our paradigms from the past. We are fighting in a hybrid war. We have military and non-military tools in order to bring confusion in the enemy's camp. Non-conventional hybrid approach can also affect the military possibilities and strengths of certain countries. Other examples: funding of political parties and intervention in the internal policies, media propaganda, misuse of minorities, dependency, and media radiation, including in the social media. Actually, we are having a war already launched in the social media, and unfortunately the Black Sea region is the crossing point. Fourth, the ongoing conflict in Syria and this wave of migrants still flowing into Europe, it is a great challenge not only for the countries within Europe, but it is also a threat to national securities due to the possible infiltration of terrorists and radical warriors sneaking in among the peaceful citizens. Speaking of the agency, we should help the allies and the state members of the European Union. Bulgaria, starting October 2016, is going to join the agency with a ship. Speaking of migrant and asylum issues, we should join our hands in order to work together. Together with our allies, we should do the necessary assessments in order to prevent future redirection of the military migrant and asylum waves. What will happen if the wave becomes 10 times stronger? As I mentioned in the very beginning, the present forum is held in the eve of the Warsaw Summit. So we should speak and defend the policy of open doors. By implementing the values of the alliance is going to provide further security in the region, and we are going to achieve NATO's strategic goals, providing stability, peace, and security in the region. We are happy Montenegro is coming to join this program since they meet the certain requirements set in front of them. And in addition, we would like to increase a little bit further the partnership by conducting additional trainings, as well as using the full instrumentarium of everything we can benefit from the alliance. But we all need consensus within NATO, and it is a great honor, no matter the geopolitical location of the different state members and the rich historical and cultural background. NATO remains united, standing in front of the new threats to our security. After Bulgaria and Romania joined the EU, the Black Sea became an important and significant cross point. We should have a Black Sea synergy in order to establish and further develop these neighborhood relations. Currently, this is the only European initiative uniting Romania, Bulgaria and Greece together with the applicant new member Turkey, and we should further establish the Black Sea region as a focal point in order not to be eliminated but rather to be reconfirmed as a real strategic point. Our main message is the following: soft power solutions can really re-establish and bring back trust. The Black Sea should be included into the future pact of security. These are just a few of the possible approaches in order to address these challenges related to the security issues in the Black Sea region, and only future is going to show how effective and stable they are going to be. NATO and the EU are democratic organizations. We all counterparts and allies in these unions on the grounds of our common efforts. We are going to secure our sustainable future. Thank you very much for your attention, and I wish you all the best in the forum today.